Good morning, good day, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's beautiful to be with all of you and so many people from all over the world. So beautiful, so beautiful. Okay. Well, in I think about 3 weeks or so, we'll have our next big retreat at Kripalu. I hope you can come. It's going to be a powerful event. So if you can make it happen, please do. Please do. From my heart to your heart, from my soul to your soul, if you can make big retreats happen, come. If you can make little retreats happen, come. The next online retreat is going to be sometime in August. I'll have to post a date, but um, please, like, there's nothing that gets me more excited in life than being on retreat, teaching retreat, offering retreat, showing up in retreat, just being in this sacred space, because so much light comes from the Divine Mother, so much grace and healing support. And even though it's in a sense it's work for me, I'm the first one opening and receiving this grace, and so I'm blessed just as much as anyone in the group. And so I've received countless blessings from being on retreat. So if you can make it, please do. Details are on my website, July 14th through the 19th. Okay. And then beyond that, please join our new Facebook page if you haven't. We have a new Facebook page in addition to our Kundalini Facebook page. And this one's called the Fully Human, Fully Divine Sangha. And some people get hung up and they don't get in the group. Just make sure to answer all the questions in the beginning there to get access to the group. Okay. All right. So there's a couple new faces here. And so I just want to acknowledge that I'll offer a short teaching and meditation. And we'll do sharing for a half hour. And then 1 hour from now, we'll do questions. So please hold your questions till then. All right. So when we're on this radical path of awakening, and we have all this energy flowing through our body, it is so very important that we know how to listen and work with our inner experience. And many of us, when we listen, the first thing we hear is we hear the loudest voices. And these are voices that are complaining, are voices that are resistant, voices that may be wanting more energy or less energy. And it's important to know how to listen. And so if I have a little girl and we're at the pool and she's breaking down because she wants an ice cream, even though she had a cookie 20 minutes ago, there's a good chance when I'm listening that I realize she doesn't need more sugar. She doesn't need more ice cream. That's not what she needs. She's needing something different. She's needing some form of rest, relaxation, or maybe some downtime. Maybe she needs to get out of the hot sun, and it's time for her daddy to take her back home. And in a similar way, we have to know how to listen to our own self. And so there's many times on this path of Kundalini awakening when the energies and the experience is overwhelming and when it's downright stressful. But the mistake, any new parent will make, like, let's change the metaphor now to like with the cell phone. If the kid comes home from school and let's say kindergarten says, Sally's got an iPhone, I want an iPhone. The parent doesn't do anything, and the next day the kid comes home and says, Timmy has an iPhone too. I'm the only one in the class without an iPhone. As a parent, I have a choice to make, to be lazy and just give in to the surface level desire. And in this case, it would be giving a kindergartner an iPhone. And then if I do that, the beautiful thing is then I don't have to parent anymore. The kid can just be parented by an iPhone. This would be the child surrendering to their egoic desire and the adult in the room surrendering to egoic desire. But on the spiritual path, we're not choosing to surrender to our egoic desire. This is the first teaching of the Buddha, which is basically he says, like, life is dukkha, life is suffering. And life is suffering if you continue to follow the voice and the direction, the instruction of your egoic desire. For us to grow and progress on the path, we have to try something different than just giving in to the egoic desire. And so again, like if my kid wants ice cream or an iPhone, she's not going to get either. She's not going to get either. It's my job to discern what is it she truly needs. What is it she truly needs? And so with yourself, I'm going to invite everyone just to close your eyes and to feel into your body. And I want you just to notice what is right here on the surface. What's the feeling that is right here on the surface? And if you could, like just if could be a couple of you, just put in the chat real quick. What are some of the things that come forward just like right on the surface? So maybe a couple people could tell me, a little bit of stress or anxiety or agitation. Good, Catherine writes, fear and anger. Andrew writes, unease and paranoia. Chrissy writes, heart pain. Yvonne writes, frustration. Okay, that's good. That's perfect. So that's a good start. And so we can, again, close our eyes. And we're just acknowledging on the surface, we might feel frustration. We might feel shame on the surface. Might feel sadness and anger. And let's go with, I like this one, sadness and anger. So if you take whatever it is on the surface, and I want you to look under it and see, well, what's the emotion here? And so, I believe it's Kuki writes, sadness and anger. Okay, good. So we'll ask, if we listen to the sadness and anger, if we listen to the frustration, and we ask it in a deep way, what do you need? So what we're doing here is we're standing in a place of compassion. And we're beginning to breathe into this part of us that feels frustration or fear or shame, sadness and anger. And we ask, what do you need? And then David Morrissey comes forward. He writes, there's this place within me that needs safety. And so then we can ask, how do I create safety? Through breathing deeply and fully, through stepping out of the mind with its chaotic thoughts, and coming down into the body. And so let's just do this for a couple minutes. It's feeling into the body and breathing deeply into the hara, the lower belly, setting a boundary around engaging with surface level thoughts or distracting thoughts, and just breathing in and breathing out, softening and opening and softening and surrendering. And so some of you, I can still see, are actually meditating from the perspective of the head or the mind. I want you to find your anchor down in your heart, or better yet, down in your belly, connecting to this quiet presence, this essence of love, this essence of strength. And so we're breathing in and we're breathing out. And I invite you just to see this part of you that was initially suffering and seeing it in a deep way, not just seeing it mentally in the form of thought, but seeing it in the body. And so, like if we feel shame, we'll probably see or feel shame, hear the energy of shame in our heart. If there's fear and anger, probably see that, feel that, hear that in the belly. And so we are meeting ourselves with great compassion, just breathing in and breathing out. Deep, full breaths. If there's any addictive tendencies, again, we're meeting it. This great sense of strength and compassion. So the addiction might say, I need a cookie or a smoke or a Coca-Cola or Instagram or whatever it is that we're addicted to. We're just gently saying no to that, but yes to breathing deeply into the insecurity, into the pain, which is driving the addiction. And so we can work in this way where we listen and we're working with whatever the wound is or the ache or the struggle in a very direct way, a specific way. And so continuing to breathe and soften and meeting fear, the anger, the shame, the sadness, this basic quality of love and strength. By basic, I mean it's uncomplicated. Breathing in and breathing out. This basic sense of I see you and I love you and I care. I see you and I love you and I care. Softening and opening. Opening and softening. Softening and surrendering. And so as we continue to do this, we begin to find this quiet sense of strength, this profound sense of love. We find this right through the central channel. As the heart comes online and the hara comes online. And so together, as we anchor more fully into the heart, opening to love, anchoring in the hara, opening to strength, I'm going to invite us to listen now in a different type of way. And so we'll gently scan the chakras, just listening and looking and just seeing if there's anything off in the various chakra centers. So let us start with the crown chakra. Just feeling into the crown and just asking, is my crown open? Is it relaxed? Do I feel connected to heavenly support? Now the crown chakra, sometimes it's absolutely closed. Sometimes it can be a little bit open. Sometimes it can be so open that it's almost like every radio station is playing at the same time. We're hearing heavenly voices and maybe even darker, heavier, lower voices. And so if that's us, we want to dial it back a little bit, kind of tune in just directly into the voice of God, the voice of heaven, the voice of truth, which is going to be the same voice as our own deepest nature. So just checking in with the crown chakra and seeing if it's open just right, it's open too much, or it's closed down, or it could open a little more. Just setting the dial so we're open just right. Open only to the truth, only to the divine. And so next we'll just touch in with the third eye. A similar dialing with the third eye. Is it open to every egoic voice and giving that voice the microphone? Or are we open to the voice of truth? Are we connected to a sense of spaciousness, emptiness, peacefulness, clarity, and equanimity? Or do we leave all of our doors and windows open at night and a thief has come in and taken over our consciousness? Or maybe there's wild raccoons or critters in our house, and so we're kicking them out and just listening only to the voice of truth, only to the voice of truth. So we'll go next. We'll open in the throat chakra. Noticing in the throat chakra. Is the throat clear? Is it open? Or is it congested with thoughts of guilt, again, or shame or judgment? Softening here. Softening guilt or shame or judgment. Realigning the throat chakra with a clear and empty mind and an open and loving heart. Coming down into the heart and inviting our heart to shine with its radiance, its beauty, its glory, its innocence, and its purity. And if any of you have one of those overactive minds, I'm going to invite this tremendous light and love to flow up through the throat chakra, into the third eye, into the crown, expelling any voices of confusion or darkness or chaos. Just inviting all this love from your heart to pour into your mind, your throat, of course, overflowing in your chest and your torso, knowing that you are innately good, essentially good, essentially innocent and pure. So just taking a couple more breaths here, breathing and feeling, acknowledging your innate goodness, and inviting this goodness, this light to spill over from your heart and flooding down into the solar plexus chakra. So feeling where the ribs come together right underneath the heart, the third chakra center. And just noticing, how does the third chakra feel? Is it fighting? Is it resisting? Is it aching? Is it flexing its power in an aggressive way? Is the power imploding in a hopeless way? Again, we're just breathing in, breathing out, inviting there to be a loving harmony restored in the solar plexus, in the heart, the throat, the third eye, and in the crown. So really feeling into the solar plexus and just inviting this recognition of your own inner power, your inner authority, your right to say yes to that which is the truth, your right to say no to that which is untruth. And so again, breathing deeply and fully, deeply and fully. Inviting your spiritual power to come online, your Buddha nature, your goddess nature, your strength, your nobility. So breathing and feeling and softening, connecting to the strength and power. And as the solar plexus chakra comes into balance and harmony, go down along the central channel and opening, opening, opening in the space of the hara. And sometimes on the surface of the hara, there can be a feeling of angst or fear. And again, just being, breathing with the angst and the fear, inviting it to soften and relax and to continue to open each and every breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling your strength and your power, your divinity coming online. This recognition that you are not just an individual divine being, but that you are the hugeness of life, the hugeness of power, that you are a spiritual giant. You are a bright light. As you continue to open and deepen in this way, you may begin to discover that you are the very energy, very essence and presence, strength, the depth, the power of the earth itself. So as this power comes online, this depth comes online, the root chakra naturally opens and merges with the hugeness of the earth. And of course, if there's any old egoic part that feels less than, that feels isolated, that feels abandoned, that feels ostracized, let us welcome it back into this space of profound depth, space of profound strength, a deep, compassionate holding every aspect of our being that feels outside, and a deep rooting to the depth of our spiritual nature. And so with that, we can take a couple more deep and full breaths. And when we're ready, you can gently open your eyes. I welcome you into this space. And in today's teaching, we focused on listening to the deeper aspect of our being. This is a skill that we must master on the path of Kundalini awakening. As Kundalini will bring up our wound, it'll bring up our shadow, it'll bring up our confusion, it'll bring up psychological turmoil. And it's bringing it all up to be healed and to be released so that our spiritual nature can take full root and become totally manifest within this body mind. And so sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time, you're going to be required to listen to yourself and to your needs. And we don't want to give into the surface level need of like, I need more ice cream, we'll all, put on lots and lots of weight. What we need is always going to be a primal need, a need for love, of safety, to deepen, a peace, of surrender, to let go, rest and relaxation, the need to open to the fullness of our being. I mean, that's the thing that solves everything, to open to the fullness of our divinity. And so the majority of the time, this will be inward work, interior work. But sometimes, like when the Kundalini is feeling really wild and it's wanting to run, sometimes we need to do something outward, like actually go for a run or actually exercise. And last night, I had kind of a long day at work. And then last night, after work, I had some like a little bit of pent up energy that I kind of picked up from the day, just working with people. And there was something within me that just wanted to run. And so, I got my dirt bike going and I fired it up and I just started, racing it up and down in my neighborhood. And of course, that's a little wild, that's a little dangerous, but sometimes this energy wants to run internally, like we've been practicing today, and sometimes it wants to run externally. And if you have a mountain bike, or if you're like me, you have a motorcycle, or if you have 2 feet and you're a fitness person and you want to run or move, for some of us, we might play music. And it's important to listen to our body, to our energy. And if it wants to run, we let it run. What's important is that we listen in a deep way and we don't let it run in negative ways. So sometimes we have too much Kundalini and then we run our mouth. We just, we might gossip, or we might yell at someone, or we might, express our agitation to mother, father, sister, brother. And so, we want to put that in check and see if we can find a way to let the energy run internally, in the form of meditation or shavasana, or externally through exercise or through singing songs to the divine, or climbing a mountain, or, sometimes it's, we put it into something creative like baking a cake, but we don't eat the whole cake that night. So anyways, I hope there was something helpful for you.